I'm Adora Wolfor, and welcome to another celebration of creative Calgarians who follow their inspiration, pursue their passion, and live their most authentic lives, making our city so vibrant. Today, we see the importance of legacy with Chantal Tallow.
We're going to eat.
Oh! And we meet ambitious filmmaker Jimena Rios.
Art doesn't show in like one specific medium. Art shows in so many creative ways.
Then we leave our mark at an artist-run co-op. Ta-da! This and more on Living a Creative Life. So most people know that I'm born, raised, and still living the dream in Calgary, but many don't know my origins. And with Mother's Day coming right around the corner, everybody please give a warm welcome to my mommy, Adair. As a mother, how have you been able to live a creative life?
I was able to have the opportunity of being a biological mom, of being an adoptive mom, as well as being a foster mom. And it gives me the opportunity to create for myself an environment to nurture all my children.
Mommy, when did you get to Calgary?
It was a cold September day in 1973. I stepped off the plane and I walked outside and it was warm. It appeared warm and sunny, but my goodness, it was freezing cold. And I quickly went back in the airport and I thought, oh my merciful Father, is this where I'm going?
I really want to thank you for being yourself so I could see what it is like for somebody to kick down the door. Mommy,
Yes.
thank you for living a creative life and giving me the foundation to live my life creatively. And with a quick glance at the socials, at team_Flint_art shows us a unique painting technique called spin art. At chadbuddick.art uses a Sharpie marker as their medium to make these stunning prints. At Linnea Martina_atelier is sharing their exploration into creating with soft pastels. Right now, there's somebody in my city who is blowing up. Lanray, you have your own show. Tell me a little bit about that, please.
My City Speaks to Me. It's the name of the storytelling project that I do for this city. I came to this city some years ago on the eve of Calgary Stampede, and I was asking questions. Oh, my friends all around the world, have you heard, have you heard? And I was surprised because they seemed not to know anything about Calgary Stampede. And I said, you know what, I'm going to tell the story. Welcome to Calgary Stampede Park. For me, I get inspiration about little things, people, places, events, and for me, I want to get to know more.
So what does living creatively mean to you?
I'm an artist. Creatively, I do painting, I do sculpture, or, dressing because I love fashion. It's part of my life. I have a fashion line called Ethnic Fashion myself. I'm privileged to be a director of a local charity organization called Ethnic Festivals Association.
What's your next episode? What do you see My City Speaks to Me creating in the future?
So the next episode is focusing on winemaking. So you're going to be seeing the process, in partnership with a local business called Wine Crafters. Exclusively, only on My City Speaks to Me, the Calgary edition. Like we do it on this show. Don't move a muscle.
I'm so excited to meet Chantal Tallow in the kitchen to learn about Indigenous comfort food and for a reminder that the most important ingredients can't always be measured with a cup or a spoon. Aksayop. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me what that means?
Means we're going to eat.
Oh, that's the perfect name.
Yes, for sure. I'm from the Blood Tribe, also known as the Kainai Nation, also known as Standoff, Alberta. I went from catering big events, hot foods, buffets, Right now I'm doing pemmican, dry meat, berry soup, and Indian popcorn. When I say popcorn, they imagine popcorn.
Right.
But no, that's not what it is. So this, it looks like a lot, but really it's not. This is beef fat.
And this is for the Indian popcorn,
Indian
correct?
popcorn, yes.
And so you cut it up so it renders down.
You're cooking to burn it down, basically. Yes, so these are gonna be crisps. Yes, little crisps.
So now you're just mixing up,
Yeah,
and it smells incredible.
already, yes.
Oh,
That's-
that's so beautiful.
That's the special ingredient.
Yeah. I can already smell the aroma of that mint coming off this beef fat. All right, so I'm gonna dive in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it should be hot. It's just great warmth. That mint like freshens it up. That salt added that extra flavor where I was like, this is a little oily. No, now I'm getting more flavor. This is fantastic. I want to get into this cookbook. I want to see what's in this
Yes,
cookbook.
for sure.
Okay, welcome to our book of love and comfort foods. As a child, I have always loved food, and where food was, I wasn't far. My aunt, Cynthia, grandparents, Rosalind and Louis, were cooks in our family. This book of comfort food is in loving memory of them.
My favorite quote actually is, "It takes me back." And that's what I enjoy, is when someone says that their grandma has passed on. The last time I had it was when she made it. I just had it and it takes me back, and that's the payment right there.
How does one continue to grow during these strange times of COVID? Well, if you're an award-winning filmmaker like Jimena Rios, you create a web series. So what does living creatively mean to you as a filmmaker?
It means seeing things differently. I often find myself just kind of like staring into space or hearing a word or seeing a location. I start kind of like developing like a story in my mind. I'm always constantly thinking creatively.
Viéndome en el espejo de la vida, observo en mis facciones la huella de los años.
This experimental film I did, it's called Metamorphosis, and it's based off a poem my grandpa wrote, because I didn't really have like the chance to have a close relationship with my grandpa because he passed away when I was 11. He actually had Alzheimer, so I didn't really get to know him as he was, because at the time he passed, he was not himself anymore. He was always like a very creative person, and on this poem he says he actually like expresses that transition from like youth to old age. It's really cool to get to know him through his poems. But it was a great experience. I loved being part of the mentorship program at Herland. It's a female filmmaker mentorship program. Sandy Summer is one of the leading directors here in Calgary, and she's amazing, and she is very invested on giving more opportunities to self-identified female filmmakers here in Calgary. My confidence went up as a director. I really needed that because I was very insecure at the beginning. So I'm really grateful with Sandy Summers and everyone behind Herland for sure.
What has changed with your creative process in this time of COVID?
Yeah, so currently I'm working with C-Space on my web series, Creative Canvas. And so I'm gonna be documenting the creative process of some artists in there, bringing that highlight, that focus on local artists and like their different mediums, because art doesn't show in like one specific medium. Art shows in so many creative ways, 3D spaces, murals, anywhere you can think of.
Cuba, que libre es Cuba. Quien la defiende la quiere más. Que linda es Cuba. Cállate, coño, cállate.
I am so honored to be able to speak with a newcomer to Calgary about their artistic practice. Thank you so much for joining me today on Living a Creative Life. What was the first piece of writing that you created you were proud of?
Well, my first book it was in the 2004 in Cuba. His name was Emil Ara, Little Stories to Dream. Yeah, I wrote that book. It's very important because that book spoke about the African traditions, the African tradition that the Africans brought to Cuba. How I trying to bring this to here because you can forget your roots.
Right.
This book, the name is Things of a Big Boy. I'm the big boy.
Right.
I'm the big boy. So I speak about racism, LGBT topics. I speak about everything because the kids because right now to the kids of this generation, you can speak with them about everything.
Yes.
How you do it, that's the magic.
What would your dream project be?
Be myself. I just be myself because I'm seeing that the point when you are an artist or human being, it doesn't matter where you came from. So be yourself. Sometimes you connect, sometimes you don't connect, but that does not mean that you stop living. So you must be resilient, and sometimes the community gives you back your effort. Su nombre es Eso es Artistas. Eso es Artist. Y dice, abajo el presidente, escribe X. 7 años de privación de libertad, ordena el juez. Rita, la musa preferida de X, sonríe. Delatar a los artistas que detesten el gobierno actual es su juego favorito. Gracias.
Let's get our hands dirty with Michelle and Helen, the passionate community builders behind Alberta Printmakers, who truly define the term artist run.
Printmaking is such a broad term for so many different kinds of ways of working. It basically just means kind of multiples, but there's so many ways to go about that.
For people who are interested in printmaking, they can then come here, they can be around other artists, and then they can use our equipment as well. And if they don't know how to use the equipment, they can take a class.
Silkscreen, it's maybe our most popular kind of method. So we'll make a little well of ink here. Take your squeegee, and this is called flooding the screen. Great.
And dump. And then we put it down towards me.
That's right. Beautiful.
Oh! We get it.
Yes. Awesome.
Ta-da!
This machine here is a letterpress. It's a relic from the newspaper world. So what we're going to be printing today is a linocut. What it is it's a little piece of linoleum. Now this was carved by one of our artists that is also an instructor here with Alberta Printmakers, Matt Dunlop. This cylinder spins and it distributes the ink to the rollers underneath.
Okay.
They absorb that ink and then they put it onto the block. So this pedal operates those little grippers. So I take my handle and this hand's just gliding along to keep the paper flat.
Okay.
And I keep walking and I go all the way to the end. Now, come on over. And you're done.
Oh, that is satisfying. I feel like this one might be perfect.
We will always do our best to provide a safe, welcoming, creative space for people to access. We've been often told by our members and our general public who participate in our events that we've opened up their eyes. It's different. It's not our typical idea of drawing and painting. A lot of people don't realize that when you have a community space like this, it is really a community.
If you have a project or example of living creatively, please share to submissions@calgaryartsdevelopment.com or post online with the hashtag YYCLCL. Join me next time for more on Living a Creative Life.